Welcome back to another episode of Michelle's Podcast News. I'm your host, Michelle Tandler, bringing you the latest updates from the podcasting community, including companies, technologies, and partnerships. Today, we're starting with a somber note as we remember Susan Wojcicki, the former chief executive officer of YouTube and a true visionary in Silicon Valley, who has passed away at the age of 56. Susan Wojcicki, a Silicon Valley visionary who helped shape Google and YouTube, died on Friday after a 2-year battle with non-small cell lung cancer, according to her husband. She was 56 years old. Susan was not just my best friend and partner in life, but a brilliant mind, a loving mother, and a dear friend to many, her husband, Dennis Troper, wrote in a Facebook post. Her impact on our family and the world was immeasurable. Wojcicki was born in Santa Clara, California, and grew up on Stanford University's campus, where her father was a physicist. There, she developed a passion for innovation and making a difference in the world. Her 2 younger sisters, Anne and Janet, also went on to become powerhouses in their own respective fields. In 1998, Wojcicki rented her garage to Larry Page and Sergey Brin, a pair of Stanford graduate students on the cusp of building the search giant Google. Wojcicki quickly saw the company's potential and left her job at Intel to become Google's first marketing manager. In the years that followed, she quickly moved up the ranks, having a hand in growing the platform's consumer products and building its advertising business. Later, Wojcicki played a major role in Google's purchase of YouTube in 2006 when it was just a small startup. She was appointed YouTube's chief executive officer in 2014 and led its explosive growth over the past decade. She also oversaw the platform as it grappled with hate speech, misinformation, and inappropriate content. In 2023, Wojcicki announced she would step down from her role to start a new chapter focused on my family, health, and personal projects. I took on each challenge that came my way because it had a mission that benefited so many people's lives around the world, finding information, telling stories, and supporting creators, artists, and small businesses. I'm so proud of everything we've achieved. It's been exhilarating, meaningful, and all-consuming, she said in a blog post. Aside from growing 2 tech behemoths, Wojcicki also devoted herself to improving the workplace for women and parents. At Google, she was the first to take parental leave and continued to advocate for such policies in the workforce. On Saturday, Google Chief Executive Officer Sundar Pichai said Wojcicki will be remembered for how she always put others first. I'll never forget her kindness to me as a prospective Noogler 20 years ago. During my Google interview, she took me out for an ice cream and a walk around campus. I was sold on Google and Susan, he said in a statement. Wojcicki was also known for her compelling graduation speech at Johns Hopkins University in 2014. There, she reflected on her career and the nature of opportunities. Rarely are opportunities presented to you in the perfect way, in a nice little box with a yellow bow on top, she said. Opportunities, the good ones, they're messy and confusing and hard to recognize. They're risky. They challenge you. On Saturday, the head of YouTube, Neil Mohan, who assumed the role after Wojcicki, wrote on X that YouTube lost a teammate, mentor, and friend. I am forever grateful for her friendship and guidance. I will miss her tremendously. My heart goes out to her family and loved ones. Apple Chief Executive Officer Tim Cook also mourned Wojcicki's passing. She was one of Silicon Valley's visionaries, and she will be missed by so many. May she rest in peace, he wrote on X. Mark Benioff, Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Salesforce, described Wojcicki, who was on Salesforce's board, as a trailblazer and an example of great leadership. She had a remarkable ability to lead with grace and vision, lighting up every interaction with her wisdom and warmth. Her kind heart, wise counsel, and philanthropic spirit touched countless lives, he said on X. Outside of Silicon Valley, John and Hank Green, both authors and popular YouTubers, shared their condolences. People feel like the structure of the world is inevitable, but it is built by people, and what y'all built under Susan's quiet leadership in a ridiculously complex environment is extremely special and head and shoulders above what others created. I'm so sad to have lost her, Hank Green wrote on X. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the top audio articles and podcasts for the week ending August 10th, 2024. This week has been packed with compelling content across various platforms, and we've got a rundown of the most noteworthy listens. First up, a report outlining the perceived barriers to affordable housing in Utah has been making waves. This in-depth analysis dives into the challenges and misconceptions surrounding affordable housing in the state, providing valuable insights for policymakers and residents alike. In Wyoming, the Game and Fish Department has named a new leader. This announcement has been well received, with many looking forward to the new direction and initiatives that will be brought to the table. On the environmental front, new research suggests that wildfire smoke may be harming trees and food crops. This study sheds light on the broader impact of wildfires, beyond the immediate threat to human life and property, highlighting the importance of addressing climate change. In Colorado, Youth Corps are actively tackling the impacts of climate disruptions. These young individuals are on the front lines, working on projects that aim to mitigate the effects of climate change in their communities. In the realm of politics, federal lawmakers are taking on the issue of AI-generated deepfakes as the election nears. This legislative effort aims to curb the spread of misinformation and protect the integrity of the electoral process. Lastly, a notable development in healthcare. A blood test to predict Alzheimer's disease is now covered by insurance in Iowa. This advancement is a significant step forward in the early detection and treatment of Alzheimer's, offering hope to many families affected by the disease. That wraps up our coverage for today. From remembering Susan Wojcicki's incredible legacy to exploring the week's top audio articles and podcasts, it's been a day of reflection and discovery. Thank you for joining me on Michelle's Podcast News. I'm your host, Michelle Tandler, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay informed and take care.